Hello. Greetings and welcome this evening to our family Christmas Eve service. I'm Carol Corvin, your worship assistant.
And I'm Reverend Minnie Hornage. Greetings on this holy of holy nights. Firstly, we want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the unceded territory of the Tishat and the Hupacheset peoples. This is a beautiful night, and we want to begin to walk together in a good way. Amit. I hope that you either have a glow stick or a candle and a ribbon, and all of that will be, made clearer as we move along.
This is a joyous night, and I am so glad that you have ventured out into this snowy, dark night to sing, celebrate, and remember the story of the birth of Jesus, who was born long ago in the town of Bethlehem. Let our Christmas carol singing begin with the children's favorite, Jingle Bells.
Great singing. I just want to sing it again, but we're going to move on to O Come, All You Faithful. We're going to sing verses 1, 2, and 3. Why don't you stand? now we'll sing the first Noel. Please be seated. Feel free to move about, be up and down. Wonderful to begin a Christmas Eve service with singing a few of those favorite carols. If we sang everybody's favorite, we'd be here for a couple of hours, wouldn't we? There's more singing and a story to come. We invite the young and the young at heart to move about as you're comfortable. Feel free, anyone, to wander about. You might want to come and explore the manger and the creche scene. Be welcomed. As I said earlier, I hope that you all received a ribbon. There will be an opportunity to move a little later in the service. And these will be prayer ribbons. So we'd like to invite you to add a ribbon to the tree later so you can think about what or whom you would like to say a special prayer for this evening. Might be someone who's missing from your Christmas celebrations this year. Might be something you're just particularly thankful for at this time of year. So there will be an opportunity to come and tie that ribbon on the tree, and some of us will tie it in bows and others will just string them on like a little bit of tinsel, I think. You're also invited to silence your cell phones if you have them with you, but keep them handy. Please do take some photos. Send some messages of joy and love out to your social media platforms. And if you want to join with Alberni Valley United Church, we've been using the hashtag Don't Be Afraid. And tonight we're using the hashtag More Love. So if you see something and to you that represents more love, and you happen to have your phone with you and you'd like to take a picture and send it out, please do. This service is also on Facebook Live, and it'll be available on YouTube later for anyone who wasn't able to be here this evening. Tonight is a family service. It's about celebrating the joy of God's gift of love and about the fact that we are carriers of God's message of good news. That message of love and hope, peace and joy. We've already heard joy as you sang some of those carols. So we will continue to celebrate with joy. There will be a story read by some of our young people. During that story, invite the congregation to just keep one little eye on the PowerPoint screen, because it's a story where you have a little bit of participation, and when some words flash up there and they say, and the congregation says, that's your cue to say those words. So you need to pay attention, or you might miss them, but that's okay because we have prompters for you. The youth will prompt you. So we're going to get ready now to hear the story. The sky was brighter than usual that night, making it easier to keep track of the sheep. And then it got really bright. You would have thought that all that glory shining would have been the sign. That's what most of us look for. Great, big, obvious clues about God's presence. But instead, the angel says that a baby, a newborn, helpless baby, in a feeding trough was it, God's sign that more love is possible for all of us. There are angels among us that may not meet the eye. There are messages of love coming from a choir. There are angels among us bringing love on earth. Let's join together in a prayer. Holy living God, blessed Jesus, guiding Spirit, a light grant us openness to hear your messages.
Grant us courage to be your messengers in the world, creating more love in the midst of fear.
And with the angel messengers above us, among us, and within us, we sing, Don't Be Afraid. Rise to sing. Angels, come support. Please be seated. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I can see glory in each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. We're going to hear a dramatic reading from the Gospel of Luke, the story from Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 20. This is where you need to pay a little bit of attention to the PowerPoint screen for when it says in congregation. Not quite yet, but soon.
Around the time of Elizabeth's amazing pregnancy and John's birth, the emperor in Rome, Caesar Augustus, required everyone in the Roman Empire to participate in a massive census. This was the first census in a long time. Each person had to go to his or her ancestral city to be counted.
Mary's fiancé Joseph, from Nazareth in Galilee, had to participate in the census in the same way everyone else did, because he was a descendant of King David. His ancestral city was Bethlehem, David's birthplace.
Mary, who was now late in her pregnancy, that the messenger Gabriel had predicted, accompanied Joseph. While in Bethlehem, she went into labor and gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped the baby in a blanket and laid him in a feeding trough, because the inn had no room for them.
Nearby,
Oops, that's okay.
Am I
You were just practicing, right? Because you're going to need to say that in just a moment. All right, back to you.
nearby in the fields outside of Bethlehem, a group of shepherds were guarding their flocks from predators in the darkness of night. Suddenly, a messenger of the Lord stood in front of them, and the darkness was replaced by a glorious light, the shining light of God's glory. They were terrified.
Don't be afraid. Listen, I bring you good news. News of great joy. News that will affect all people everywhere. Today, in the city of David, a liberator has been born for you. He is the promised anointed one, the supreme authority. This will be a sign for you. You will know you have found him when you see a baby wrapped in a blanket laying in a feeding trough.
And the shepherds said, "Really? That's the sign?"
At that moment, the first heavenly messenger was joined by thousands of other messengers, a vast heavenly choir. They praised God. A heavenly choir of angels sang to the highest heights among earth. Glory to God, and on earth peace among all people who bring pleasure to God. Let us sing about that.
Angels we have heard on high.
As soon as the heavenly messengers disappeared into heaven, the shepherds were buzzing with conversation. They rushed down to Bethlehem right now. Let's see what's happening. Let's experience what the Lord has told us about.
So they ran into town, and eventually they found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the feeding trough. After they saw the baby, they spread the story of what they had experienced and what had been said to them about this child.
Everyone who heard their story couldn't stop thinking about its meaning. Mary, too, pondered all of these events, treasuring each memory in her heart.
The shepherds returned to their flocks, praising God for all they had seen and heard. And they glorified God for the way the experience had unfolded, just as the heavenly messenger had predicted.
Let's join together singing Away in a Manger. Hear this story that draws us here this night. We sing the carols where the story is told again and again. And what can I say, I wondered, that hasn't been already said? What could I say that's profound? Nothing, really, because Jesus said it all, did it all, and gave us a mission to continue in the way he showed us. In the way he showed us, he arrived as this little baby. It's a story. Vulnerable, little, small, precious. All those sounds that you hear around you, coming from the back, wafting in and out. You know this little baby cries and coos and smiles and catches your attention. God's love tries to catch our attention and comes in the size and the shape of a little vulnerable one and grows up to teach us about love and kindness and care. A message that says, risk it all for love. Risk it all for love. Be courageous. Be people who are seeking justice. Love your neighbor is the message of this little one. The story we hear tonight is this little one. Love your neighbor. Love yourself. Love your enemies. That's what he said. That's what he taught all of his life, this little one. And it'll transform us. So we gather here this night to remember this story something draws us and attracts us. It's about family and connecting and joy. And we're all here because we care about this story. And we wonder about this story that's depicted here in the creche scene. A story about the holy coming so close to us, so close that we too can hear the call to be divine messengers of love. Tonight we're going to do that by offering Christmas prayers. So the ribbon you received, I invite you, Ellen's going to play some carols, and I invite you to talk to your neighbor and just think about what it is you're particularly thankful for tonight, or who it is that maybe is missing from your table and you'd like to offer a prayer for them, or a situation in the world that you're particularly concerned about or you'd like to give some thanks for. Take a moment and share that with one another. Talk to the children at the back or wherever the children seem to be sitting, and invite them to think about what's their Christmas prayer that they would like this ribbon to represent. And when you're ready, come and tie it on the tree. And watch this tree grow with Christmas love, with the prayers that we offer. If you're not comfortable bringing the ribbon up yourself, there's somebody sitting really close to you who will bring it for you. So put your intention into the ribbon and come and tie it on the tree. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts that you have put into the air, that you sent out into the universe. Gifts of care, words and thoughts of loving kindness. Thank you for connecting with one another. Connection strengthens us, doesn't it? We gather at Christmas to be strengthened, to lean into each other's love and joy and peace and faith, to lean into prayer together. And now we make an offering together. We offer what we can to the work and mission of Alberni Valley United Church. The the ushers will collect your offering now. Thank you. Let us join together in prayer. God of love and possibility, we offer these gifts so that they may be transformed into your good news for the sake of the world. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. Just before we light the candles and sing Silent Night and experience the light be dimmed, as I've been challenging some people all through December, each week, each Sunday, I give you a mission and ask you to be some kind of hashtagger. And tonight, your mission is, should you choose to accept it, of course, that you could be a hashtagger for more joy, more peace, more hope, and more love in the world. I wonder what it would be like if we chose one of those, and maybe because this is the night of love, we could choose more love. And for 365 days, those of us who are on social media, we put out a quote, just something about love. And for others, choose something you can just say to someone else that's going to encourage them that day and put a little more love into the world. Can you imagine how much love could grow over 365 days just from us who are gathered here this night? I can imagine that as ripples coming out from our lives and our living, and it's like it opens up our heart and more love just flows. I invite you to think about that and how we might be able to join together and put more love into the world. There's a card. If you weren't given one, it's at the back. It says, "Where there is hatred, let me sow love." Let's do that this year. And now I invite Carol to come forward, and she's going to help us light the candle tapers. Carol will take the Christ light on my left-hand side of the congregation, and I will bring the light to this side. As we sing together, Silent Night, the lights will be dimmed. First, we'll let you get your candles lit. Don't turn them all out yet. Uh-oh. They're wanting to go. Okay. All right. Okay, fine. Enough talking, Minnie. Time to sing. Ellen, can we sing verse 1 again? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Remember, there are angels among us saying, do not be afraid. There's an angel beside you. That candle that's lit just beside you, there's an angel holding it, a bearer of love and joy, peace and hope. Share that greeting with one another. Merry Christmas. God bless you all.